Buttons here. Welcome to my sewing room, and this is Dorset.Threads. So today is Sunday and it's a very dark, dank, miserable, rainy day. It's really horrible outside. We've had a lovely week of sunshine, cool but sunshiny weather, and today the rain is truly setting. I'm looking this way because I can see all the horrible rain out my window. Anyway, hopefully it's light enough for the video and that you can see me well. So last weekend I went to Alexandra Palace to the Knit and Stitch show with all my friends, which was lovely. I felt absolutely wiped out on the Sunday, as predicted, you know, early start, late finish, and all that walking about and talking. Who knew that talking about fabric and stroking fabric could wear you out so much? But on from that, how has my week gone? Well, I came back from the show and I had a list of things that I wanted to look for at the show, some which I got and some which I didn't. So when I came back, I had this list that I then thought, yep, I know I want these things that weren't available at the show, and I went online and had a look and made some orders. And I also, as I might have mentioned in the video, looked at a few machine options because I was looking to get a new machine. Nothing wrong with my old machine, well, my present machine, let's say. But the thing is, she's a bit of a diva if there's any sort of real thickness. So if I want to sew up denim or a coat, jacket, anything where you've got kind of couple of seams and some lining or some wadding or interfacing that's a bit thick, she kind of throws a bit of a, you know, a diva strop, and we'll do the whole skip and stitches thing. Then I have to reset the whole machine. The machine's fine on, you know, my general sewing, staying on the same tension, go for ages, perfectly fine. Anything that you do a change up to it, doesn't really like it. The buttonholes is fine, or the fancy stitches are fine. So generally like 80-90% of the time I have no issues. But the moment I want to sort of do something a bit different or push myself with a different fabric, a thickness or some other techniques, I have a few issues. So that was one of the main reasons that I was looking for a more powerful machine, and also one that could deal with the thickness. So I looked at a couple of the machines. As you know, I went on the Janome stand and the Brother stand, and my other machines that I have and that I've had in the past, even my overlocker, are Brother machines. So I was kind of veering towards staying with Brother, but I, you know, wanted to, you know, have a look around. Anyway, long story short, she says, so coming back from this show, I then started looking at where I could get this Brother machine that I'd seen at the show and the availability and everything. And they actually had a deal going across the board on this type of machine, and it was ending, I think, on the Sunday at midnight. So that kind of made the decision for me. I just thought I got to take advantage of this deal. You know, no matter where you go, they're all offering this deal, and it's all going to change on the Sunday. So I did put in an order for my new machine. But I'm getting a bit carried away telling you my, you know, happy news, big purchase, new machine. Let's get started with what I'm wearing. And usually for me, I've got red on. I don't wear a lot of red. I do like red. But this dress I made, I want to say a year ago, in this lovely fabric. I think it's from Minerva. And it's the Closet Core Knix dress. I don't know if you're seeing it clearly on the camera, but I did the covered buttons. And I will, I'll do a bit of a video so you can sort of see how it looks. And I paired that with one of my faves, Helen's Closet Blackwood cardigan. But what I did was I did it oversized. So I went up quite a few sizes because this material is really thin and drapey. It's a red marl. I can't remember where I got this. I got this sort of in a sale online quite a few years ago. And I just thought it's thin enough and drapey enough just to put on top of a dress and give you a bit of coverage, but it's not, you know, there's no heft to it, but it's quite nice. And I lengthened it, the pattern, and didn't bother putting the band on the bottom. I just sort of lengthened these the neckband pieces, and yeah, I'll show you in the video anyhow how it looks. I might be a bit overdressed for a drizzly Sunday, but what I'm trying to do is work my way through my wardrobe of the dresses that I got out for the winter and figure out, one, do they still fit, and am I going to wear them? Two, can I alter them to make them a better fit? Do I need to keep them? Do I need to pass them on? Do I want to remake them? So I'm actually trying to gradually work my way through the wardrobe. So I didn't grab comfy joggers and a sweatshirt. I went for the dress today, and it is really comfortable actually, but that's why I'm wearing that today. So I've had a couple of things through the mail, obviously the new machine that I ordered, but a couple of other bits that I ordered as well. So I've had a lot of happy mail this week. It's kept the smile on my face, so that's good. They've come into the sewing room. And yeah, obviously I'm super happy with making a big purchase with my machine that I think is going to be sort of a machine that's going to keep me going for years. Is going to be able to, with a combination of the two machines. So the idea is my new machine is going to become my everyday machine, and then my current Brother machine will be the ones that I take to socials because it's lighter. Obviously the new machine, because it's more powerful, it's heavier. So my old machine is going to go to socials, and if I want to do buttonholes and fancy stitching, then I'll pull that one out because no issues. But then my new machine is going to become my everyday machine set up for me. So that's kind of the reasoning behind it. And yeah, that's I will show you the machine. I will show you in a little while. So my sewing room's in a little bit of disarray at the moment. I actually went to a sewing social yesterday, the one in Wimborne that is quite local to me, and that's run by Carly, who is, as I've mentioned before, you know, the designer, owner, everything of Rooted Fabrics, the lovely lady behind that. So I went to that with my normal group of friends. It's very busy social, super, you know, happy place to be on a Saturday. Everyone's sewing, chatting, laughing and whatnot. I took along a project to go with me. I got back home after the social, put everything in my sewing room, and it's kind of stayed there till this morning. So I'm still all bagged up. I'll show you. I'm all bagged up. So I've got my sewing machine and my overlocker in their bags, their travel bags, and then I've bought a caddy online to put all my bits and bobs in. I always have a pot that I just put all my things that I can grab. I can fit my Taylor's ham in there, my pins obviously, my bucket for my my threads. You know, when you've got nowhere to put the threads, I've got a little hook on the side of my machine and I just hook it on there, and then as I'm working away I can put my threads in there, because obviously when you're in a social, you know, you can't just brush them on the floor like I might do in my sewing room, got my little clay pot with all my my feet and threads that I might use, spare needles in my unicorn pouch, because what else do you put in a unicorn pouch? It's an arcade in Swanage, and we went along there and we went with the family and the little ones. There was grabbing machines and we were all playing along trying to find the things and get the things and help the children get them. And I won this unicorn pouch, and I thought, I'm going to keep my unicorn pouch. So yeah, this is the one that comes with me to socials with my spare needles in. Anyone hasn't got their needles, you know, I can always help out with that. As I said, I've got my ham in here. Recently bought this at the stitch show so that I don't burn my fabric or with the interfacing. Trusty journal, or rather my trusty log of makes. Every time I make something I tend to write it down, because I have to make so many alterations because of my height, my size. I will write it down and I will refer back to it. It's always a lot easier if I can see what I've done the previous time. Yeah, and I've just got all my bits and bobs, you know, fray check and whatnot, and rotary cutters, again, the, you know, hot hammer and things. So yeah, so that's my caddy. I took this week. So I finished my Mia messenger bag. So you might have seen a video a while ago that when I went to the Farnborough Creative Craft Show with my friends, we went to look for fabric and things and notions and what. I had a lovely day, and I bought this fabric from the Lady McElroy. I bought this fabric from the Lady McElroy stand from the lovely Raymond. It's a Paul Smith dead stock. Get me right. Oh, it's red. It actually goes with this, doesn't it? So this is the slip pockets. It took a while, I cannot lie. It took a while to sew up. The Mia Messenger has a lot of pieces, pattern pieces, because you've got the lining separate, and obviously you've got pockets and things, and it took a while because one of the main reasons, and this is one of the reasons why I was thinking about a machine, I did this on my, you know, current machine, and the girl just couldn't cope. She just couldn't cope with the, once you get, you know, it's sort of this sort of thickness and you're getting into the corners, she was struggling. So I've still got things from yesterday in here. So I chose this lining that I got, I think I got it from Pound Fabrics, and I bought it in different colorways, but I thought it was ideal for a lining. So you can see I've got the pocket there that I would put my iPad in that I did have with me yesterday. And then the other side, see if you can see, I've got my zip. Where's the zip pull? There we go. So you've got the zip there. And then the zip at the top to seal it all. And then the zip at the top so you can seal it all like that. I went with the rainbow zip and these lovely pulls. I don't know if you can see that. It says thanks, I made it. And I think I got those from, one of the bag maker boxes from Studio 77, the lovely Emma. Yeah, thanks, I made it. I thought that was quite good. Put my little magnetic catch on there. I did have a few issues, as I said, and it was mainly down to two things. My machine didn't like going through the thicknesses. It's okay with sort of the double thickness, but as soon as it started mounting up, especially in these corner areas, it really didn't like it. And the other thing was, as lovely as the material is, and I do love this, material. I managed to line the stripes up. I'm really happy with that. It frayed the moment you looked at it. You only had to, you know, move it a little bit, especially when you're trying to maneuver a bag, you know, under the needle to get it precise. It just frayed, and that sort of set me back a little bit. So the combination of those two. So I have got a couple of tucks and things, but actually, as it goes, I think it's okay. It's okay for me. The strap, I did the medium length, and there's a point in the pattern where you kind of have the strap made up, and then you can just tack or pin and then try it on. So if I put this on, I will show, actually I'll show you a video with it on because you can see where it hits. What I decided to do, this was the medium strap, as I said, and then I think I took 2 inches off each end to make it a little bit shorter, but then I am, you know, really very short, so I didn't want it sitting too low. You know, you sort of want it where it's comfortable on your hip. It's a very roomy bag, and there's a lot of pieces to the pattern, as I say, but it was ideal because I could put my lunch and everything in there, and you know, it was really, really useful. So yeah, so I'm pleased with that, but it kind of swayed me, as I say, into thinking, yeah, I think I need a machine with a bit more gusto. Yeah, so that's what I finished last week. Now, I did a vlog in the week of my unboxing of the Think Pink subscription box from Beyond the Pink Door. Really happy with that. Yeah, if you want to see more details about that, obviously check the vlog out. But I was wearing, when I made that vlog, my newest make straight off the machine, and that is the Tilly and the Buttons Noa dress that was recently released. I'd seen it at the Knit and Stitch show and I'd bought the pattern there, and Tilly had one on. She had the version, because it comes in 2 versions. She had the version, the round neck, which comes up here, but I made the V-neck because that's more suited to me. And I had it on in the vlog for the unboxing, but I thought I'd just show you a bit more about that now, about that make. I wore it to the social yesterday, and yeah, I got a lot of compliments. People thought it suited me, which was really lovely to hear. I've never really gone down the pinafore route. I wasn't sure if it was for me, so it was sort of a new sort of look for me, but I wore it with my long sleeve Agnes, and I paired it up with the wood caddy that I'd also made recently, as I was going down this blue theme. So here's the Noa. It's got the exposed zip at the front. Luckily I had one in my stash. It has the silver, which I think is pretty good to go with the look of it. So the design has princess seams. Hopefully you can see that in the light here. And then it comes to a point here. So that's your bodice part. And then you've got the skirt. Luckily for me, when I looked at the finished measurements, I figured that the mini length version would actually hit me just about right to my knees. So I didn't have to fiddle about with lengthening, I didn't have to fiddle about with shortening, lengthening, if only. I didn't have to fiddle about with shortening the skirt. I could just choose the mini skirt option, and that would be a good length for me. Really above the knee kind of girl, you know, that's kind of my vibe. So yeah, so this is the dress. I put in Cozy Club Handmade label, priceless, shine bright, but yeah, I thought that one suited it quite well. So the other alterations that I made, I'll put a picture of a video of me wearing it full length. You've probably seen it before, but I'll put it in there so you can just see. So what I did was I took my usual 2 centimeters out of the upper chest, because generally there's too much volume here, because obviously I'm quite short in the body, you know, my upper body. And then I also took 1 inch off the waist to raise it because it would still be too long. Other than that, I didn't do any changes. As I said, I didn't touch the length of the skirt. On wearing it, I feel like I could take a smidge off the shoulders, just bring them in maybe 3/8 of an inch, but that's just being nitpicky. The dress itself has facings on the inside. You can see like this, so it's all nicely enclosed. If you know about the burrito method, when you use 2 pieces of fabric to enclose the seam so you don't see any exposed seams, this pattern uses that, but it does it through the armhole. But it, you know, it would make sense to you if you follow, when you follow the pattern. The zip is enclosed in the facing, so you don't, the zip was actually much simpler to sew in than I thought it would be. That was the one point that I thought, oh, I really need to use my brain power here, but that went in lovely. And yeah, it went really well. On the back, you can decide whether to have this part, which is the little belt attachment, the belt adjuster. Obviously, it's entirely up to you whether you want to use it or not. The pattern is designed not to be tight, or rather body, you know, bodycon. It's designed to be skimming the body. You know, you're going to wear something underneath, because quite frankly, if you had it so that it was really tight, you'd probably struggle to get in and out of it, because obviously it's only the length of the zip that's allowing you to maneuver in and out. But I did the little cinch at the back because for me, I felt that my body shape needed that, you know, that's what made me comfortable in the dress. And yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The fabric, you may notice from a vlog way back, was the original one that I was going to make a shirt out of. I got it from Beyond the Pink Door. It's marine blue baby cord, super soft, really lovely to sew. She does have other colours as well in the shop. And I was originally going to make a long sleeve shirt. I made a few shirts. I was trying out the Buttons Noa shirt by Friday Pattern Company, as you may know. And I actually used last month's Think Pink subscription box fabric to make up a short sleeved one in the end, and with a view to doing this. Let me just grab that one. So yeah, there's my Buttons Noa, yeah, in the September subscription box fabric. I think I've shared this before. Managed to pattern match down through the middle, did the short sleeve version. Probably wear it as a layering piece rather than done up, but she's on the mannequin still at the moment. So the project that I took to the social to make up was to make another Alexa blouse by Atelier Jupe. I've got a picture right here to help you with that. Alexa decided to talk to me. I'll put a picture of it up here. I've got the instructions here. So I got this lovely fabric in the week, got delivered. I'll show you the other fabrics that came as well. It's the Atelier Jupe pink and black flowers, and I got pretty far on making the blouse. So this is the back part with the pleating. This is going to be the front. It's just lovely. I love this colour. So obviously I was just on the verge of putting the collar in correctly. Not, you know, I was just in the process of putting the collar on. Gossiping and putting on collars doesn't really work too well for me. But yeah, so I thought I'll save that to put on properly when I get home. And obviously I've got to put the sleeves on, hem it, and yeah, it's just the buttonholes then, so we'll be done. But I wanted to make that up as soon as it came through. So I got my delivery of some fabrics through in the week, and I put them in the wash straight away because we had some lovely weather, as I say, and cut that one out for the social. So yeah, I had a lovely day at the social sewing that one up. So I decided to put in an order with Beyond Pink Door. There was a few fabrics that I wanted that had caught my eye. This is called Lyocell Denim, and it's the light blue because I just was intrigued by it. It's got drape, it's a woven, it's a drape. I've got it in the light blue because I know that's kind of good for me. I just thought I want to try that. I've seen it in a dress, I've seen it in a top, and as I said, it might be that I want to make drapey trousers with it, but I'm on the fence with that. That's still got to be washed and dried. But that was my first purchase. And then I got some of the lovely Funfetti French Terry. I have had the Funfetti in viscose, but I've never bought the French Terry, and I didn't want to go down the route of getting another blue one, so I thought what other colours would suit me, and I plumped for the pink. I went for the pink Funfetti. Say that after a few sherbets. But actually, as a top and maybe some drapey trousers, I'm thinking that could be a look. And again, with joggers, it'll be perfect. So yeah, thought I'd get myself some of that. I bought, you can see the name of it, Savannah. I went for the crescent tote, the noodle head crescent tote bag kit. Now, Andrea's done a few of these bag kits, and I've never bought one, always with a view to getting one. And ahed about different colours and then always missed the boat. And this time I thought, I'm determined. As soon as I saw them on there, I thought I'm determined to get one. So I picked up one of those, and what it is so you get a box, and you can choose to have it with or without the pattern. I didn't have the pattern, so I added that. That fell out of it. So I went for this colourway, sort of like the burgundy, deep burgundy with the bluey zip. So you get your zip, got your fabric. This is really nice. 2 threads, the webbing, which is absolutely gonna set the whole bag off when you put those together. Yeah, I'm loving that. So this fabric will be on the outside. Additional fabric, additional pattern pieces that Andrea has made herself. So she does a YouTube tutorial, which is how I'm going to make it. I'm going to follow her guide, and she's done these herself to make life a lot easier when making it up. So yeah, she's added an extra pattern piece. I'm sure it will become, you know, it'll all make sense once I'm following the YouTube tutorial. And then obviously you get all your wadding, interfacing, whatnot in the correct amounts. No brain power needed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making that one up. And I just think it's going to be really nice. Apparently this is one of the in colours for the winter. And it's one that I actually really like. I'm not so much into the browns, which apparently, you know, are the colours to go for. But I really love this. It's such a deep, rich colour. And with that, it's just going to set the colour off. It actually really brings the colour out. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Got all the bits in there. Really looking forward to making that, hopefully pretty soon. Obviously, I've got the pattern now. So where Andrea makes a lovely selection for another box, for a crescent toe, and I like the colourings, I can go for that, and I don't need to add the pattern to the box, and go from there. There's also a scannable code on the box that takes you straight to the sew along, I believe, which is, yeah, that's really handy, isn't it, to have that there. So I've literally got a bag in a box ready to go. So that one's jumping to the top of my list, because yeah, I'm really keen to make that up. And yeah, I'm really pleased that I got that one. As I say, I'm trying to foray into making some bags, and that will be on my new machine. Speaking of which, so hopefully this isn't too wobbly and you can kind of see what I'm trying to convey, and it's not the radiator. So yeah, this is the elephant in the room, otherwise known as my new machine. So it's a Brother PQ1600S, 1600S, the 1600, I think it can do the 1600 stitches a minute, so it can go super fast. I won't be using it in super fast mode because I'll be stitching my fingers, my arms and everything. So yeah, it's more to do with the power through the fabrics and coping with the seams, and obviously getting a really good finish as well. So let me just take you across. Hopefully this won't make you too seasick. I will go slowly. So here's my bags from yesterday from going to the social. It's my seating area. Why is there a tea tray under the desk, you might ask? Because I've got little legs and I like to rest them. This is a bag that I put all my scraps in. And then here we go. This is my new machine. Hopefully my work area doesn't look too untidy. It's not so bad that side, not so much that side. So yeah, so here she is. Obviously that's some of the fabric from the make that I took to the social. So let me pop the light on. There we go. So as you can see, she's quite large. My other machine was about the same size, but I didn't have this big part here, this extension table. This is supplied because it actually takes different feet and you've got to unscrew them, so it takes different feet to my current Brother. So yeah, as you can see, it's got this arm here. Hopefully this can see. So it's got this arm here, so it will take the larger cones, which you kind of use for bag making. I've got some of them up here from the lovely Studio 77 Emma that you can use for bag making when you're going through thicker fabrics. But obviously I've got a regular Guttman up there, also set up. And then this machine, actually, when you thread it slightly different if you're going to be using thicker threads. So there is a leaflet supplied, and it shows you how you would thread it up slightly different to get the tension correct. This is the tension here, yeah, and then we've got this here. This knob here is for the pressure, so if you've got thicker or thinner fabrics, then you can adjust this. The settings over here, so this is the stitch length, so it only does straight stitches, and obviously it goes right up to 7mm, so really long. You can set it to finish in needle up or needle down. Thread cutter, you press on this, press it down to do a back stitch, which you would obviously do at the start and finish of your work. Is the light good? Yeah. And then this is for the feed dogs. So the feed dogs, which are effectively these things, if you don't know, which grip the fabric from the underneath. So you're moving the fabric as well as the needle, pulling it at the top, doing a stitch and moving it along. The feed dogs move it along from the bottom. So the feed dogs you can adjust for thicker and thinner materials, obviously, to help with the, you know, the pulling along. And then it also has a setting, and it's called a pin feed. So if you've got a delicate material that is prone to catching and not going along with your stitch, you can put it on this setting, and there's actually a pin that is just under these feed dogs, I believe. I mean, this is only as I've cursory read the instructions. There's a pin that comes out here, and it will just prick the fabric in line with the stitches, so it's not making additional holes in your fabric, and then help it move along. So it's a bit like a walking foot idea, but by using a pin to help move the fabric along. So yeah, that's interesting. The extension tables here, oh, that's my list of things to take to my socials. I need to keep hold of that. So you've got the extension table here, which obviously makes it a really big workspace. Because it's got a more powerful motor, because it does the 1600 stitches per minute, it has a side bobbin rather than a top drop bobbin, you know, loading bobbin. So it's actually, the bobbin's just under here, and it goes in through there. Under the extension table there is a knee lifter attached. Hang on a second. So yeah, I've just flipped that over, and this metal thing here, you can detach that out of there. See this little connector there, and it will go into this hole, and then you can have a knee lifter arm and use that start and stop, you know, lifting the needle and whatnot. So as the instructions say, you can use the knee lifter to lift and lower the presser foot easily, leaving both your hands free. So when you're trying to, you know, manipulate fabric and keep the line of stitching exactly where you want it, you can use that. My current machine also has a knee lifter option. I never use it, to be fair, but it is obviously part of this machine. And it also says here about the foot pressure adjustment dial and things. Yeah, so I do need to sort of absorb all the information, but I did set it up to use. I did make the Noa dress on on this machine, so I wanted to use it as soon as I'd gotten it. It came with an array of items, accessories. So it did come with an array of accessories. I've put them in this box because I need to keep them separate from my other machine feet, and I've also bought some additional feet that I thought I might use. So it came with the 1/4 inch and the rolled hem, an all-purpose foot, a darning foot. What else did it come with? Oh, this is an adjustable zip foot, an invisible zip foot, some needles, fabric separator. So this is when you have a lining and then a main fabric, so it can cope with, you know, I guess not creating tucks and things in your fabric. A seam guide so that you can you know, get the stitching where you want, and obviously the normal cleaning tools. It also came with a pin, a feed pin, and then the attachment. As I say, that's the pin that comes up in line with your line of stitching to just help move the fabric along. Delicate, slippery fabrics will benefit from that. And then it also came with 5 bobbin reels, which are completely different to my current bobbin reels in my other machine. And, you know, they take quite a lot of thread. And yeah, it came with 5 of those. And I haven't bought any more of those at the moment. That's the one it came with. But obviously I need to sort of build these things up as and when I need them. So I thought I'll keep these in this box away from all my other feet and things for my other machine, so that I've got all those ready. The additional feet that I bought, oh, that's the pin need foot. I bought a couple of these. I was recommended by other people, these bi-level sprung feet. Let's see if I can get a close up. And if you see, the foot is sort of 2 levels, and what it's going to allow you to do is when you're top stitching, and obviously you've got a very thick part of the item you're sewing, and then you've got the obviously the table, the extension table. It allows you to stitch without the thickness affecting the stitch line. It's not going to get the wobbles because it's sprung. So I got a couple of those with that's a 5mm, and I also picked up a 2mm, which I thought would be ideal for top stitching. It's just a little bit smaller. And then the other one that I got that I really wanted was the very narrow foot. If I put my finger up, it's not switched on, don't panic. If I put my finger under there, you can just see it's very narrow. And I thought that would be ideal. The bags that I have tried, when you try to get super close to, let's say, webbing or a pocket or a zip, obviously you've got your zip foot, but this will allow me to get super close without the foot getting in the way, you know, of the other notions or the seams that are on the items. So hopefully I'm going to get some really good makes out of this. So yeah, as you can see, she kind of dominates my work area. My other machine is probably just going to sit here for now, although I do need to sort what's going on with this lot. My Cricut machine's under here, and then things that I've already cut out that I want to make. So these I've cut items out, but there's still enough there for like a t-shirt and things, which is obviously a quick and easy make just to cut out makeup. I've got those out to keep those in mind so that I can make them up. So yeah, that's my new machine in all her glory. Okay, so that was my new machine. So I will use that this week, and I'll give you some more feedback about how I got on with it. Obviously, I'm just dipping my toe into sussing it out and how it works and getting used to the speed and the feet and how it threads and everything. So hopefully it will all be plain sailing and I won't have any issues, and I can get on with those jobs, finish up my Alexa blouse, crack on with the bag and some other bits I've got cut out. I've got some project bags ready to go. I had a bit of a cutting out session on the Friday before I went to the social, so that I've got things lined up to go. What else is on my list? Yeah, so that's the things that I'll be doing this week. So hopefully I can crack on with fair bit of sewing. Obviously I need to put all my sewing bits away, all my notions and things. And then at the weekend I've got another sewing social. I'm a lucky girl, I've got another sewing social. So the lovely Claire and Stacey Harper run the Sew Time Social, which is in Southampton, Loxheath, I think it is called, that I go to. And yeah, I'm happy to be going there at the weekend. So obviously I need a project for taking there, and I'm keen to meet up with my friends again at the weekend, see what everybody's been making, what they've been up to. And yeah, I'll be back again at the weekend on Sunday and give you an update how I've gotten on with these things, and my decisions for the subscription box fabric that I had come through in the week. I have been rethinking my plans a little, and been doing a little bit of researching, and I might be going down the route of a dress now. I've seen a couple of inspiration pics that I'm thinking, yeah, I think I might go that way. But I will, yeah, update you at the weekend, and hopefully you'll get some sewing in and you get some lovely time to yourselves doing some sewing and making some really nice garments and bags or whatever you make. And I will be back at the weekend, as I say, and give you an update. So until then, goodbye, and yeah, have a fantastic week. Bye bye now.